Bit Evolution is a modern retro platformer that allows the player to play through the history of gaming in a single title.
You have 5 worlds. The tutorial world is inspired on Pong, so games from the 70s. And then first world is Atari. Then Game Boy, so everything goes to black and white, grayscale. Then NES and SNES. So you're going through the ages of gaming, the graphics are evolving, the code is evolving according to that era. The audio, everything, we try to keep the feel of that era.
It's got the ability that every time the player dies within the standard game, they're actually sent to an alternate dimension that we like to call the realm of code. This dual world mechanic allows us to really play with the idea of platforming a lot, creating areas where you literally need to kill yourself in order to progress through the game. Realistically, I've known that I've wanted to make video games ever since I was young.
I started playing games ever since I can remember, when I was very young.
Parents actually wouldn't even let me have video games early on because they thought it would be destructive to my career in the future. When I was in 2nd grade, they finally gave me the okay to get a Game Boy. So I had a little Game Boy Pocket, and yeah, basically it all just kind of went from there.
I always wanted to work with games, and growing up in Brazil was a little difficult. There's not a lot of schools, and it's kind of a far-fetched dream, basically. Started researching for game schools and found Full Sail.
After I finished my undergraduate degree, I started my master's degree at Full Sail University, which was an awesome experience. I was able to learn a lot about the runnings of a game company themselves.
The GDMS, or the Game Design Master's degree, is a combination of design, production, and usability, which were the areas that I really wanted to focus, so that was amazing.
And with the knowledge that I gained while going to Full Sail, I suddenly came to the realization like, hey, I could potentially run a company myself with this knowledge I have, and that'll give me a lot more creative freedom than I'd have in any AAA company.
We had so much talent right there on our class. So we were always working together, making different teams, doing game jams and things like that. That's how it really started.
So me and a couple of the guys decided to form up a small independent game studio, and thus became Major Games.
He had a really small demo for Bit Evolution with like 4 or 5 levels. And he showed it to us. I was really excited. I was like, wow, this is awesome, man. You should keep working on this. Back then, I didn't imagine I would work on it in the future.
After about a year of hard labor working nearly full-time with Major Games, we managed to finish it, get it out on Steam, and release it to the world. Overall, I'd just call it a very successful launch. People were very receptive to the game. It was an excellent title to sort of establish our roots and really look at where we came from before we move forward into the future. Overall, I think the team is really what makes Major Games, because we've got a number of individuals, all from different countries, all working together, giving very fresh perspectives on everything, while still being very like-minded and having very similar interests.
Because it's a small team, there's not a lot of hierarchy, it's more organizational, but at the same time, everybody's really building the game.
We're not just co-workers, we're really just a bunch of really good friends who enjoy working on the games we're working on. Major Games is working on a couple of different projects right now. Most notably, we have our project Vectromere.
Imagine yourself in a Tron world, but you're doing parkour things and you're altering the level and things like that. So it's kind of like an action platformer with some puzzle elements.
And we're really pushing through to get an active demo of that going pretty soon here.
It's really exciting, and it's been done on Unreal, so the game is looking amazing. Everybody that plays it, they've been giving us some good feedback.
And we are also working on a new version of Bit Evolution, which is, instead of a game where the levels are pre-made for you, a game designed around making levels yourself. We like to call it the indie version of Mario Maker.
Yeah, we're really excited for the future and the stuff that we have coming.
Major Games has been an awesome experience, and I highly encourage any video game hopefuls to go through and try starting their own game company and creating their own games. Really just follow that dream that you have to make games and see where it takes you.